Hey everybody, this is game number 95 in the Atlanta Braves 1987 History Maker Baseball replay. Haven't done a video of a game in a while, played a lot and put the results on Facebook, but thought with a new series I'd go ahead and do a video since I had time. And this is game one of the series in Philadelphia between the Braves and the Phillies. Excuse me. So we're going to wait a few seconds for people to join if they have time or if they're available. And while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and go through the score sheet and the lineups. Score sheet for the Braves, they are currently 39-45. They're on a current 4-game losing streak. We'll go through the starting lineups. For the Braves, Albert Hall will lead off in center, followed by Oberkfell at third. Renicky is in left. Dale Murphy's in right. Ted Simmons is at first. Andres Thomas, the shortstop. Ozzie Virgil catching. Glenn Hubbard at second. And pitching today is Charlie Palaio. And unfortunately for the Braves, they are dissonant in this game. Their 4-game losing streak, the die came up as a 3. But then when they went to the game day chart, it was no effect. So the only thing they carry is Doyle Alexander is still a workman until further notice. For the Phillies, this is their first game, so they're neutral by rule. And their lineup, Juan Samuel is at second base. Milt Thompson is in center, hitting second. Von Hayes is at first, hitting third. Mike Schmidt, third baseman, hits cleanup. Glenn Wilson's in right field, hitting fifth. Chris James is in left field, hitting sixth. Darren Dalton catching, hitting seventh. Steve Jeltz, the shortstop, hits eighth. And Don Carmen, the lefty, is on the mound for the Phillies. The Phillies, like I said, will be neutral by default. To get the Phillies hot and cold players, I just did a random dice roll. So Thompson's the hot player, James is the cold player. And for the Braves, I went through their last ball game, and Oberkfell had a couple of hits, so he is hot. Hubbard was an 0 for 4 with a strikeout, so he is cold. All right, and we are at Veterans Stadium, and this ballpark photo is courtesy of Al Wilson. If you go to his Hands on Game channel, he has a Google Drive where you can get all of these things from. And I also printed off the Veterans Stadium Part 2 to his boards, and that's a place for the umpires and the benches to go as well. So I did want to show that and give a shout out to Al for that. A lot of work there he put in for those, so the community is benefiting from that. All right. Hello, Manuel Rivera and Al, Red Sox fan, and everybody else that just joined. The preambles are pretty much over now. We're ready to go. I do want to go ahead and give out the umpires. I forgot to do that. So we'll scan back over again to our second board, and we'll see that the home plate umpire is Eric Gregg. At first base is Dick Stello. The veteran Doug Harvey, the crew chief, is at second base, and Jerry Davis is at third. So we're ready to go here from the vet, and it plays semi-small for both righties and lefties. Braves trying to break that 4-game losing streak, and they have their right-handed hitting lineup in facing the lefty Don Carmen. So we're ready to go. First things first, we are underway, and the first batter of the game is going to be Albert Hall. And I've got the Braves in these little baggies. Hopefully the light doesn't reflect too bad on them, but I was trying to protect the cards because they get handled so much. The other teams I don't have in the baggies, but since I handle these every day when I'm playing them, I want to try to keep them from getting too messed up. So I found putting them in these little baggies work very well, and they keep them from getting too messed up. So that's why they're in the baggies. And I'll try to hold it so the light doesn't blind anybody. So we're underway with the first pitch of the game, and it's 3-3-5. So we'll go to our book, 3-3-5, and 3-3-5 says, is the pitcher wild? Don Carmen actually has semi-control, so we don't have to worry about him being wild. Is the batter a sad sack? Albert Hall is a semi-scrapper, but he's not a sad sack. So therefore, he's going to single to right field, and he's going to steal second base because he's not stoic. As a matter of fact, Albert Hall is an active runner. So Albert Hall gets the Braves off to a great start. Leadoff single, and he steals second. So maybe the change of venue, because they were getting beat up at Shea Stadium by the Mets, So maybe the change of venue is helping out. We got runner at second, nobody out for third baseman Ken Oberkfell. And it's a 1-3-6 result. And the 1-3-6 asks, is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not an ace. Then it says, is he whiffer or cold? Oberkfell is actually the hot player listed in this game. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying to keep that off of there. He is actually listed as the hot player this game, and he's not a whiffer, so we're going to infield drama. So we got our first infield drama of the game. And if we check the Phillies infield, Schmidt is semi-gold, everybody else is neutral. And it is a 2-5, so Schmidt will be neutral as well. So a 2-5 on infield drama says second baseman, iron. Well, Juan Samuel is not iron, he's neutral. Otherwise, routine bounce ground out. So it's a ground out to second as Samuel makes the play, but Hall will move to third on that ground ball to the right side. So Oberkfell actually does his job advancing the runner. Puts runner on third with less than 2 outs for Gary Renicky, who is in left field today, taking Griffey's place because of the lefty Carmen on the mound. And it's 2-3-4, which is plate drama, and there are people on base. So we go to plate drama, and the catcher, in this case, Darren Dalton, is neutral. So we go to our mini chart called plate drama. Roll 2 dice. I rolled the decider just in case it's needed. And we get a 3-6. So a 3-6 says catcher iron. Nope. We said that he was neutral, so he's not iron. If he was iron, it would be a pass ball. Otherwise, catcher gathers in low sinking curveball for a ball. When that ball is an orange, that means we go to the umpire chart. So the umpires will get their first crack at it. And we go to the umpire chart with the corresponding base running situation, which is a runner on third. So we're going to roll for that. And this could check the third base umpire. It could check the home plate umpire. We really don't know. It's a 1-4. So 1-4 asks, is it a lenient umpire at home? Well, the home plate umpire is Eric Gregg. He is respected, but he is not lenient. So that answer is no. If he was lenient at home, if I can get this focused or not. Come on, focus for me. Here we go. Batter awarded base on balls on borderline pitch. Other umpires strikeout. So basically, Renicky is rung up by the home plate umpire Eric Gregg. He was not lenient, so the strikeout will stand. And that's a big out there because now there's 2 outs and it's going to require a base hit by Dale Murphy, who has really been struggling lately. It's a 2-3-6. And a 2-3-6 asks, does the pitcher have double control? No, he does not. The pitcher's not batting, so it is a walk. So Dale Murphy will walk. And that puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. For first baseman Ted Simmons, he's in there again because he's a switch hitter. And Gerald Perry, being a left-handed hitter, is sitting in this game. So here's Simmons. And we get a 1-3-4. And 1-3-4 asks about a gold catcher. No. Dalton is neutral. He's not gold, so it won't be a strikeout. Is the batter a champion? No, Ted Simmons actually has no qualities on his card. No batting qualities whatsoever. So we got outfield drama. So now we have outfield drama for the Phillies to try to get out of this inning. And in their outfield, Glenn Wilson, the right fielder, is semi-gold. Everybody else is neutral. So he will be semi-gold. 1-6. 1-6, right fielder Stoic. What's asking about his speed, not whether he's semi-gold or not. Wilson is semi-stoic. The sire die says he's stoic. So since he's stoic, he can't get to that ball, and it's a double. So a double for Ted Simmons. A double by Ted Simmons. A lead die of 1 means Murphy's only going to get... Oh, check that back. Let's check our advancement. I could be supposing things I shouldn't be supposing. So it says with a lead die of 1 on a double, runner advances 1 base on hits, 2 bases on doubles. 2 outs, any runner scores from second on a hit, but it doesn't say he scores from first. So it's just a 2-base advancement for Murphy. But it is an RBI double for Ted Simmons. And the Braves are on the board, leading it 1-0, which is different than it was in the Mets series because they kept falling behind all the time. All right, here's Andres Thomas, the shortstop. And we get a 3-6-6. So a 3-6-6 in the playbook. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a pinch hitter? No. So he's going to fly out to center field, and that's going to end the top of the first. But after half an inning, the Braves take a 1-0 lead, and they turn that 1-0 lead over to Charlie Palaio, the right-hander, who was a semi-workman with flash and semi-control. But he's got a pretty good batting order to get through. Juan Samuel to lead things off. It's a 2-2-4, and the 2-2-4 is pitching at home. No, he's on the road. We're in Philadelphia, so he's not going to get that break. Is the batter a slugger? Juan Samuel is a slugger. So since he's a slugger, it's a double to left field. And Juan Samuel, since he's at the vet, is going to get a double. So if that was in Atlanta at Fulton County, it would have been a ground out to short. But since they're in Philly, it's a leadoff double for Juan played against Samuel. Here's Milt Thompson. The 1-2-2. 1-2-2 asks, is the pitcher a workman? Well, Palaio is a semi-workman. And for anybody not familiar with the Play.com History Maker game, they have partial qualities which require the decider die to be a dot to activate. In this case, the decider die is a blank, so it's not going to be activated. So the workman does not come into play. So Palaio is not a workman this at bat. So we go to the next result and ask, is the batter a champ or a whiffer? Well, Milt Thompson is a semi-whiffer, but since we've already used the decider die once, we're going to have to re-roll it to see if he is a whiffer this time. If it comes up with a dot, he's a whiffer. If it's a blank, we move on. It's a dot, so he is a whiffer. So Milt Thompson will actually, the fact he's a whiffer actually helps him out in this at bat. He's going to get an infield single. So the fact that he was a whiffer actually benefits him in this case, which is a rarity. But now runners are at the corner. Hi, Mike McAllister. How you doing? All right, so runners are at the corners. Nobody out for Von Hayes. And Von Hayes got a 1-2-6, which a lot of times those lead dive ones are freshness rolls. So in the early innings, that helps out a lot. And in this case, he is fresh. So it's a line out to second base. And there's one away. Everybody stays right where they are for Mike Schmidt. So double play will get him out of the inning if he can get Schmidt to ground one. It's a 1-5-5. That's not good news. 1-5-5 is blank for the pitcher. Is the batter a home run king? Mike Schmidt's a semi-home run king, but decider die says no. So Palaio caught a break. It was not a home run king because the decider die was a blank. So it's a fly out to center, and that's going to make the second out. And on a lead die of 1, it says runners hold on fly out, so it was no sacrifice fly. It was just a short pop to center. Runners had to hold. There's 2 outs, and here is Glenn Wilson. Right fielder, 1-6-6. That's not good for Palaio. To ask if he's a workman. Well, again, he's a semi-workman, but decider die is his friend again, so he's not a workman. Is the batter a whiffer? Glenn Wilson is not a whiffer. So he will ground to third, and that's going to end the inning. And Palaio, thanks to a lot of good fortune from the decider die, gets out of this with no damage done. And after one complete from Veteran Stadium, it's Atlanta 1 and Philly nothing. Here's Ozzie like a Virgil. He's going to lead things off. That's a 4-6-6. 4-6-6. Is the pitcher wild? No, Carmen's got semi-control. Is he a home run king or a slugger? Virgil, he's a home run king, so he will strike out. Strike out for Ozzie Virgil. That's when it's not good to be a home run king. He struck out. Here's number 8 hitter Glenn Hubbard. 1-1-2. 1-1-2 asks, does the pitcher have flash? Don Carmen has semi-flash, but again, decider die says no. Is the batter a sad sack? No, Hubbard is a scrapper, or semi-scrapper, but he's not a sad sack. So we got check with score. That is a micro chart on the next page. We roll 1d6, see if it's a hit or an error. Either way, Hubbard's going to reach. It's a 1, so a 1 says base hit off the shortstop's glove. So Glenn Hubbard with a 1-out single. That'll bring up the pitcher, Palaio, and he's up there to bunt. And when you bunt, it's pretty simple. I can't see it from the board over here, or you can't see it on the camera, but on the board, you roll 1d6, and as long as it's not a 6, you're pretty much okay. It's a 5, which says 3, 4, 5, out at first, runners advance. So that's a good sacrifice. I won't get too technical with who fielded it. I'll just say that Dalton, the catcher, fielded it through to first. And there's 2 away, but Hubbard is in scoring position for Albert Hall. And it was a productive at bat by Pelayo. Here's Albert Hall. He singled, stole second, and scored his first time up. It's a 2-4-6. So a 2-4-6 roll on the chart. 2-4-6. 2-4-6. Does the pitcher have control? Carmen, semi-control. This time the decider die says he has control. It's a ground out to the pitcher, and that's going to end the inning. So that time the decider die was in the favor of the Phillies, and they get out of the inning with no further damage. Go to the bottom of the second, still 1-0 Braves. And Chris James, he's a designated cold batter in this game. It's a 4-4-5. 4-4-5 asks, is the pitcher a workman again? We're getting a lot of those workman results. This time Pelayo couldn't avoid it. The dot is there. It says he's a workman. So therefore it's a double. It is a double for Chris James, a leadoff double. And that's how the first inning started, with a leadoff double. So we'll see if Pelayo can pitch around it with Darren Dalton. 1-3-3 for Dalton. 1-3-3, blank for the pitcher. Is the batter a slugger? Darren Dalton is not listed as a slugger, so he will fly out to left field. So this was early in Dalton's career before he started hitting home runs. So simple fly to left, 1 away. And that brings up shortstop Steve Jeltz, switch hitter, batting in the 8th position. And we get a 2-2-6. 2-2-6 talks about being hit by the pitch. Hit by pitch, but the decider die has to be a dot, and it is not. So he's not hit by the pitch. He's not the cleanup batter. So he will fly out to left unless he's a whiffer. The little thumb here says if he's a whiffer, then instead of flying to left, he will strike out. Jeltz is a semi-whiffer, but the decider die says no. So therefore, it is simply going to be a fly to left for out number 2. And now we're down to Carmen, the pitcher, so Pelayo may get out of this. 1-4-6. 1-4-6, does Pelayo have flash? Pelayo does have the flash quality. He does have the flash quality. If I can get in there without being blurry. He does have the flash quality. So therefore, it is a strikeout unless the batter is a good eye, and the pitcher, Carmen, is not going to have a good eye. So the strikeout will stand, and Pelayo pitches around another leadoff double. And after 2 complete, it's still 1-0 Braves. And that'll bring up Ken Oberkfell to lead off. He grounded to second his first time up. 4-6-6. 4-6-6. Is the pitcher wild? No, he's got semi-control. Is he a home run king or slugger? No, Oberkfell is not. So he will single to left field. Single to left field for a base hit. He is not active, so he will not steal. But it's a leadoff single for Mr. Oberkfell as the Braves try to get something going here in the 3rd. Here's Gary Renicky, left fielder. He struck out his first time up. 1-2-6. 1-2-6 is a freshness check again, and he is fresh, so it's a line out to second. Line out to second for 1 away. And just as a mention on freshness, for these older seasons, like from the 80s and earlier, the freshness lasts for 4 innings, not just 3 innings. So they get full freshness through 4 innings. All right, here's Murphy. He walked his first time up. It's a 1-1-5. That's good. 1-1-5. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a home run king? You better believe it. Dale Murphy is a home run king, and that is home run number 30 on the season for Dale Murphy. He just cranked home run number 30, and the Braves take a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd off of the Phillies, Carmen. So Braves jump to a 3-0 lead thanks to the 30th home run of the season for Dale Murphy. He needed it. He was struggling. Here's Ted Simmons. Doubled his first time up, 3-4-6. 3-4-6 is blank for the pitcher. Is the batter eager? No, Ted Simmons is not eager, so he will walk, and that results in purple. So we will be going to the chemistry chart, which is not good for the Braves. I'm not going to use any manager cards in this game. I'm just going to let it flow. So the Braves are dissonant and the Phillies are neutral for the Andres Thomas at bat. So 4-4. 4-4. Pitching team dissonance. No, the pitching team Phillies are neutral, so they're not dissonant. If they were dissonant, it would be a double. Otherwise, it's a deep fly out to center. And there's 2 away. And that'll bring up Ozzie Virgil. 2 outs and a runner at first. Braves lead 3-0, top of the third. 1-2-3 asks, does he have flash and is he fresh? Well, he is fresh because we're only in the 3rd inning. He's got semi-flash. Desiree says he has flash. So therefore, both flash and fresh is a strikeout. So Virgil goes down and strikes again, his 2nd time. And the inning's over, but the 2-run homer by Murphy puts the Braves up 3-0. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd. For top of the order, Juan Samuel doubled his first time up. And it's a 2-3-4, which is plate drama if runners were on base, but nobody's on base. Is he the hot batter? He is a semi-hot batter because he doubled his last time up. Desiree says he's a hot batter. So since he's a hot batter, we're going to a fence check. So that means Samuel got into one on a fence check, which is a micro chart. Go to fence and find out what his quality is. He is a slugger. So we're going to be looking at this column right here. Roll 1d6 and see what comes up from that. Could be a double, could be a triple, could be a homer. 5 to 6 is a homer. It's a 4, so that's a triple. So a triple for Juan Samuel. He's got 2/3 of the cycle going. A leadoff triple. Not sure Palaio can pitch around that. So a leadoff triple by Juan Samuel. And the Braves are going to play the infield back. They're up 3-0. They're not going to worry about 1 run. They want some outs. Here's Milt Thompson. Milt Thompson, oops, that fell through the cracks there. It was a 2. So it's a 2-2-5 was the roll. 2-2-5. 2-2-5. 2-2-5. Is he a star? Palaio is not a star. Is he a slugger or a sad sack? Milt Thompson's neither one. So it's a base hit to center, and an active runner will steal. So Samuel will trot home from 3rd for the first Phillies run. Cuts the lead to 3-1. And Thompson will then steal second base while Hayes is at bat. So he is at second with nobody out. A run already in. And here's Von Hayes, first baseman. 4-4-6. We've had that roll a lot. 4-4-6. Is he a star? No. Is he sad sack, utility, or patient? Sad sack, utility, or patient? He is patient. So the fact that he's patient means he takes a called strike 3. He was too patient, so he took a called strike 3. And that's the first out of the inning. Brings up Mike Schmidt. Schmidt. 4-6-6. 4-6-6. Is he wild? No, he's got semi-control. Is he a home run king or a slugger? Schmidt is a slugger, so he will strike out. So Mike Schmidt down on strikes. So Palaio has come back to strike out Hayes and Schmidt to try to get out of this inning. Brings up Glenn Wilson. 1-1-2. 1-1-2 asks, does the pitcher have flash? Well, we've seen before that Palaio does in fact have the flash quality. So that is a strikeout unless the batter has a good eye. Glenn Wilson is actually eager. So that strikeout will stand. So Palaio comes back to strike out the side and minimize the damage. Phillies get a run on the Samuel triple and the Thompson single. And after 3 complete, it's the Braves 3 and the Phillies 1. And we start the top of the 4th with Glenn Hubbard. Glenn Hubbard, he singled his first time up but was stranded. 1-2-6. 1-2-6 is another freshness check. Is he fresh? Yes, he is. We're in the 4th, so he's still fresh, plus the decider I would have given it to him anyway. So it's a line out to second base for 1 away, and that brings up the pitcher spot with Palaio. Palaio, interestingly enough, does have a slugger quality, so if he gets into one, he could drive it deep. Hello, Beatles. How are you doing? So it's a 1-4-5. 145, is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. So it's going to be a ground out to third, and there are 2 away. Back to the top of the order for switch hitting Albert Hall. 1 for 2. Stolen base and a run scored. 134. 134, is a gold catcher? No. Is he a champion? No, he's not. So we have outfield drama. So we're back to outfield drama, and in the outfield, again, Wilson is semi-gold. Everyone else is neutral. It's a 5-6 with the decider die as a dot. 5-6, first baseman gold. No, the first baseman, Hayes, is neutral. So since he's not gold, it will be a ball sailing over his head for an error. So that's where I have to kind of figure out who threw the ball. And I usually go by the handness of the batter. Since Hall was batting right-handed, I'm going to say that error was on Jeltz. So we're going to go ahead and call it an E6. There's probably a more scientific way of doing it with a dice roll or something, but that's kind of what my default is. So Jeltz makes the error, puts Hall at first base with 2 outs for Oberkfell. We get a 1-5-6 for Oberkfell. 1-5-6 blank for the pitcher. Is he a whiffer? Oberkfell is not a whiffer. So we're right back to outfield drama again. We just left outfield drama, and now we're right back to it. Same situation, same scenario. And we get a 3-5. 3-5. Third baseman iron. No, Schmidt's not iron. So since he's not iron, it'll be a routine ground out, and the inning will be over. So nothing doing for the Braves here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still Braves 3 and Phillies 1. And that'll bring up Chris James. And this is the last inning for both pitchers to be fully fresh. They'll be semi-fresh after this. Chris James doubled his first time up, but was stranded. 2-4-6. 2-4-6. 2-4-6. Control. He's got semi-control. Decider die says it's got control, so it's a ground out to the pitcher. So James grounds it back to Paleo for 1 away. And that'll bring up Darren Dalton. Dalton, a 3-4-4. 3-4-4 for Dalton. Is it a prospect pitcher? No, Paleo is actually a semi-icon. So he's not a prospect pitcher. Is he patient? No, Darren Dalton's not patient, so he will pop out to second. And that's 2 away as Hubbard puts it away. Brings up Jeltz, the shortstop, number 8 hitter. 2 outs, nobody on. So 1-6-6. And that's going to hurt Paleo again because is he a workman? Decider die says he is. So it's a single to left. And that will allow Carmen to bat now and not have to have him lead off the next inning. So Carmen is up to bat. He's got the typical pitcher hitting qualities that you would expect. 2-4-6. 2-4-6 again. Ask about control, which he does have. Decider die says he has it. So it's a ground out back to Paleo to end the 4th inning. So nothing doing for the Phillies. We go to the 5th. It is Atlanta 3 and Philadelphia 1. And now both pitchers are semi-fresh. They flip over to semi-fresh. And that'll bring up Gary Renicky. Gary Renicky. Mike, I read something on Facebook about that. You might be able to do this with just making some notations, maybe take a sticky and say that the 166 goes to the experience chart, and then 126 goes to the right now chart, things like that. There might be some workarounds with that. Maybe you can talk to Keith. Maybe he can give you some suggestions on that. I'm sure he didn't really think about that when he created the game. He probably should have, but when you're creating these games, you can't think of everything, obviously. But certainly we wouldn't want you to miss out on such a great game just because of the color issue. So there might be some way to work around that, but maybe somebody can brainstorm on that. Here's Gary Renicky to start the 5th, and again, they're both semi-fresh. 2-5-5. 2-5-5. Is he a star? No, Carmen has no star quality, so he's not a star. Is he a home run king? Gary Renicky is a semi-home run king. Decider die says he's a home run king, so Gary Renicky has just gone yard, a deep drive to left, And Gary Renicky has put the Braves up by the score of 4-1. So that's why he's in there. That's power against the lefties. So Renicky did it. And here comes Murphy, who hit that 2-run homer his first time up. 155. He's going to do it again. 155. Home run king hits a home run to center field, and Murphy is your home run king. So that's 31. Home run number 31 for Murphy. And they go back to back. It's a back-to-back jack. Back-to-back jack. 2 solo shots, and the Braves now lead at 5-1. Phillies got the bullpen going. There's Ted Simmons, 1-2-5. 1-2-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, you have to give up 3 consecutive hits to be a semi-struggler, so he's only given up 2, or else it would have been a home run. Is the batter patient? Simmons is not patient, so it's going to be a ground out to third. He's not a whiffer, so the ground out to third will stand. And there's 1 away. 1 away, and here's Andres Thomas, shortstop, 266. 266 talks about a runner on first being thrown out, but there's nobody on base. He's not the leadoff hitter, so he will fly to right, and that's 2 away. So Carmen trying to get through this inning without any further damage. Here's Virgil. He struck out twice. 1-4-5. 1-4-5. It's not a struggler, so he's going to ground to third, and the inning is over. But the Braves pick up 2 in the 5th thanks to back-to-back jacks from Gary Renicky and Dale Murphy. And at the end of 4.5, it's the Braves 5, Phillies 1. And like I said, Phillies do have some bullpen activity working. They have, let's see here who they're going to go to warm up. Looks like Kent DeColvey is warming up in the bullpen. So Kent DeColvey might be coming in if Carmen struggles any further. All right, here is Milt Thompson to lead things off for the Phillies. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a stolen base. 1-4-4. 1-4-4 asked, does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does. He does have the flash quality. However, there are these glasses right here, which means we have to check the umpire. And so we go to the notes down here under 1-4-4, and it says, questionable or lenient umpire calls ball 4, other umpires call strike 3. Well, the home plate umpire in this game is Eric Gregg. He is respected, so that strikeout will stand. And actually, that should be Samwell batting, not Thompson. My bad. Samwell is the one who will strike out, thanks to the umpire not being questionable or lenient. So Samwell goes down. Now Milt Thompson is up. I apologize for that. I had my players out of order, because Carmen, the pitcher, made the last out last at bat, or last inning. 5-5-6. 5-5-6. Whoops. 5-5-6. Is he an ace? No. Is Thompson a sad sack? No, he's not. So Milt Thompson will double, and an active runner steals. Milt Thompson is active, so he will steal. So Thompson, a 1-out double, and he steals third. So that's one of the little oddities you get in this game with the automatic steal and being active. So, brings up Von Hayes with the runner at third and 1 out. Infield, of course, playing back. 1-2-3, that's the flash and fresh qualities. He's got the flash quality, but he's not fresh because Desire Die says no. So instead of a strikeout, it would be a grounder to short, and that will score the run. Actually, no, it won't. A lead die of 1. I take it back. Lead die of 1. Let's see here. Lead die of 1, I believe the runner has to hold. Let me check my chart here. I believe the lead die of 1, the runner has to hold. Don't know if I don't have it in front of me or not. I'm pretty sure the lead die, the runner has to hold. Now I'm not sure. I've always played a lead die of 1, the runner holds. So we're going to say that the runner holds. It's a turf field, but Thompson's pretty fast. So this one's a toughie. I'm not sure if he's supposed to score or not. Here we go. Ground out running rules. Now I found it. It's on the ballpark page. With the infield back, runner at third, lead die of 1, runner does hold. So that's what it says on the, in fact, I'll move it over here and show you. That's what it says right here. Ground out base running chart, infield back, runner on third, lead die of 1, runner holds. So that's the official rule there. Whether it logically makes sense in baseball or not, you would think with the infield back he would have scored, but I'm playing this one out of the book because I'm testing the game engine. So we're going to call it like we see it. It's a ground out to short with Thompson holding. And now here is Mike Schmidt. 3-6-6 for Schmidt. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a pinch hitter? No. He will fly to center, and so nothing doing for the Phillies as Thompson gets stranded at third to end the 5th. And after 5 complete, it's the Braves 5 and the Phillies 1. So Glenn Hubbard steps to the plate. Carmen's still in there. If he gets in any trouble, Colby will be coming in. It is a 1-3-6, which asks, is he an ace? Which he is not. Is he whiffer or cold? Hubbard is neither. So we have infield drama. And on the infield, Schmidt is semi-gold. Everybody else is neutral. So everybody's neutral. 1-5. 1-5. Shortstop iron. No, he's not. So it's a routine ground out. So Jeltz makes the play. 1 away, and that brings up the pitcher, Palaio. And like I said, Palaio does have the slugger quality, so if he gets into one, he has a chance. 3-3-6. So we'll check 3-3-6 for Carmen. It's asking, is he an ace? No, he's not. Is he sad sack, utility, or patient? Palaio, he is semi-utility and he's semi-sad sack. The dot or the blank here is for semi-sad sack, so now we're going to check and see if he is a utility. Rolling the side or die again, and he is a utility. So since he's utility, it will be a strikeout, called strike 3. So there's 2 down. And that brings up the top of the order for Albert Hall. Hall, a 4-5-6. 4-5-6 blank for the pitcher. Is he patient? Hall is not patient, so he will fly to center. And that will end the 6th inning. Nothing doing there for the Braves. That result was in purple, so the first at bat of the bottom of the 6th will be off the chemistry chart, which is an advantage to the Phillies because they are neutral and Atlanta is dissonant. And it's Glenn Wilson that gets that at bat. And it's a 1-6. 1-6 says batting team dissonance. No, they're not. They're neutral. They're not dissonant. If they were dissonant, it'd be a pop out. Otherwise, it's a walk. So there's a walk to Wilson to start off the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Chris James, designated cold batter in this game. 5-6-6. So a 5-6-6. 5-6-6 asks, is the pitcher wild? No. Does the batter have a good eye? No, he does not. So he will strike out. And that strikeout is in blue. So we go to the right now chart for the next at bat. And Palaio will be hot because of that strikeout. Dalton will be neutral because he popped out. So it's a hot pitcher against a neutral batter. And a 1-5. Hot pitcher, neutral batter, 1-5. Cold batter. Nope, he's not cold, so it won't be a strikeout. Batter pounces on pitch for a single through the shortstop. So it's a base hit for Darren Dalton. And on a lead die of 1, you get a 1-base advancement. So runners are at first and second with 1 out. And that brings up Steve Jeltz. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Carmen coming up next. But right now it's Steve Jeltz. We got a 1-2-3. 1-2-3, both flash and fresh. He is not fresh. So instead, it's going to be a ground out to short. And on a lead die of 1, that's a double play. So that helps the Braves because that is a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. And Palaio gets out of it again. He has weaned his way through 6 innings, only allowing 1 run. We go to the 7th, and it is Braves 5, Phillies 1. They're going to let Carmen pitch because he's set to lead off the next inning. Plus, you got some lefties coming, or at least one lefty coming up. Here's Oberkfell, 3-5-5. 3-5-5. Is he a struggler? No. Is Oberkfell a champion? No, he is not. So he will ground out to second. He's not a whiffer. It's a 4-3 ground out for Oberkfell. One away, and here's Renicky, who homered his last time up. Renicky, a 3.66. He's blank. He's not a pinch hitter. He will fly to center for out number 2. And here's Murphy. He's got 2 home runs in the game. Home runs 30 and 31 on the season. Looking for a third one. 2-2-6. He might get it. 2-2-6. 2-2-6. Batter hit by pitch. Decider die says no. Is he the cleanup batter? Yes, he is. He hits 4th in the lineup. So that's a home run to right field. So Murphy connects with his 3rd home run of the game, home run number 32 on the season. And it is now 6-1 Braves. 6-1 Braves. And here's Ted Simmons. 1-2-6. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? No. Is the batter a sad sack? No, it's a single. Single for Simmons. And that's going to do it for Carmen. They're not going to be able to wait any longer. They're going to have to get him out of there. He goes 6 2/3. They were trying to get him through the 7th inning, but it just didn't work. And we're actually going to get a double switch because they want DeColvey to pitch multiple innings. So we're going to get a double switch here. And they're going to bring in Louis Aguayo to play short and bat in the number 9 position, since Jeltz made the last out. And then DeColvey will bat in the number 8 position. So DeColvey bats 8th, and Jeltz takes over batting 9th. I'm sorry, Aguayo takes over batting 9th. So we'll make those changes. So Aguayo will lead off the bottom of the 7th. And the new pitcher, of course, is none other than Kent DeColvey. And Kent DeColvey is a star with semi-flash and control. He will be an ace on this first at bat as he faces Andres Thomas, who's 0 for 3. 3.55. 3.55. Is he a struggler? No. Is he a champion? No. It's a ground out to second unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer, but the decider die says no. So it is going to be a ground out to second to end the inning. But the Braves tack on another run thanks to the Murphy home run, his 3rd of the game. He had really come in struggling, but he found his power stroke today. Bottom of the 7th, Louis Aguayo will lead off. He came in on the double switch, so he will lead things off. 2-4-6. 2-4-6 is asking about control. Does he have control? He's got that semi-control going. And he's got the decider die in his favor, so it's another ground out back to Paleo for out number 1. And Aguayo is retired. Top of the order, and Samuel, he's doubled and tripled, also struck out. 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Is he wild? No. Is he eager? No, Samuel is not eager. So he will ground out to second. He's not patient, so he won't walk. It'll be a ground out to second for the second out of the inning. Brings up Milt Thompson. This is probably going to be Paleo's last inning. 7's about the most you'd expect from him. It's a 1.55 for Thompson. 1.55 asks, is he a home run king? No, Thompson is a semi-scrapper. So he will fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Phillies here in the 7th. So we completed 7 innings here at the Vet, and the Braves comfortably in front 6-1. Even with their bullpen, it seems like a comfortable lead. Speaking of bullpens, they will get their bullpen up and active. Jim Acker is loosening in the bullpen. Charlie Paleo is set to hit 3rd in this inning, so he will be lifted for a pinch hitter. And Acker will be the new pitcher to come in to pitch the 8th. DeColvey's still in there to pitch the top of the 8th. He is now semi-fresh. And he's going to face Ozzie Virgil, first batter of the game, or of the inning. Ozzie Virgil, he's 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. We had a 1-3-3. 1-3-3, is he a slugger? No, he's a home run king, but he's not a slugger. So he will fly to left, and that's 1 away. Brings up Glenn Hubbard. Glenn Hubbard is 1 for 3. 2-3-6, 2-3-6, double control, no. Pitcher is not batting, so it will be a walk. So a 1-out walk to Hubbard. And now we're going to get a pinch hitter for the Braves. And they've got a lot of lefties on the bench because of the lefty starter. So they're going to bring in Greg Nettles. So Greg Nettles will come in and pinch hit for Paleo. And then Acker will be coming in to pitch for the Braves. But right now, it is the pinch hitter, Greg Nettles. And it's a 1-2-5. And Nettles on a 1-2-5. Struggler, no. Is he patient? Nettles is not patient. So he will ground out to the third baseman. He's not a whiffer. So it's a ground out to third. And on a lead dive 1, that's a double play. So that's a 5-4-3 double play to end the 8th inning. So that didn't go well for Nettles. But with a 6-1 lead, they can afford it. And now, the new pitcher in the ballgame for the Braves is the aforementioned Jim Acker. His only quality for Jim Acker is that he has semi-flash. Everything else is blank. So, Von Hayes will be leading things off, and Acker is an ace on his first at-bat. You always get the ace quality on the first at-bat. 1-6-6, that's a workman, which he is not. Is Hayes a whiffer? No, he's not. So he will ground to third, and that results in red. So we will be going to the experience chart. And Schmidt is the next batter. He is an icon. So Schmidt's an icon. Acker is neutral. So we got an icon batter against a neutral pitcher. And we got a 1-5 on the experience chart. 1-5, prospect batter. No, he's a icon. If he was a prospect, he would line out. Otherwise, he's going to hit a single. So base hit for Mike Schmidt. 1-out single. Brings up Glenn Wilson. 246. 246 asks, does he have control? Which he does not. Is the batter eager or sad sack? Glenn Wilson is semi-eager. Decider Die, though, says no, he's not eager this at bat. So he will walk. So that is a walk. Puts 2 on with 1 out. And that'll bring up Chris James. Braves bullpen trying to make it interesting. 2-4-5. 2-4-5. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a hero? Chris James just happens to be a hero. So that's going to be a single to left field. And on the single to left field, I'm bump my little stand there. On the single to left, make it so you don't get dizzy trying to watch this. If I can get it balanced correctly. Trying to work on that. There we go. Okay, so it's a single to left for Chris James. Schmidt is going to hold. You have to be active to score with a lead die of 2. So in that instance, we now have the bases loaded and 1 out for Darren Dalton. So could get interesting here. Braves may have to get the bullpen active again. Here's Darren Dalton. And that's a 5-5-6. That's not good for Acker. 5-5-6. Is he an ace? No. Is he a sad sack? You might get a break. Darren Dalton's a semi-sad sack. Decider Die says he's a sad sack. So instead of a double, he will line out to first. And with the runner on first, we have to roll the Decider Die to see if he's doubled off. So if it's the dot, we get a double play. And it is. So how about that? Darren Dalton lines out to Simmons for out number 2. He steps on the bag, catches James leaning off the bag or running with the pitch. And James is out 3 unassisted for a double play. And that's the way it was going for the Phillies in this game. Had the chance, but a line-out double play takes care of it. We go to the 9th. DeColby will go ahead and finish it out for the Phillies. And it'll be Albert Hall to lead things off as they still lead it 6-1. We get a 2-4-6, which is asking about control. DeColby has control. So it's a ground out back to DeColby. 1 away. Here's Ken Oberkfell. Braves trying to break this 4-game losing streak. And Oberkfell, a 1-3-5. That's the unusual chart. Black 1 means we're going to the ballpark chart. And Veteran Stadium plays semi-small to both righties and lefties. So Oberkfell will get the bat off of the ballpark chart. It will be small now because of the side or die, so it's a small ballpark, 3-5. 3-5 asks if it's a big ballpark. No, it's not. Long drive caught at the warning track flyout, otherwise home run. So how about that? Ken Oberkfell, even though he's a scrapper, the small ballpark in this at bat gives him a home run. And for the Braves, that is their 5th home run of the game. 3 by Murphy, 1 by Renicky, and now 1 by Oberkfell. And it's now 7-1. And that was courtesy of Veteran Stadium. So no provision there for a scrapper not to get the home run, so the home run will stand. Here's Gary Renicky. Renicky, 1-1-5. 1-1-5 asks, is the pitcher fresh? The side or die says he's fresh, but he's in his 3rd inning of work, so I don't believe he's going to be fresh now. So we'll skip that. Is he a home run king or sad sack? Gary Renicky. Gary Renicky is a semi-home run king. The side or die says he's a home run king, so that means he's going to strike out anyway. So either way you go, he's going to be struck out. And there's now 2 away. And now here's Murphy. He's got a chance for his 4th home run of the game. Rare qualities for that, but he won't get it. It's a 1-6-6. Is he a workman? No. Is he a whiffer? Yes, he is. He's a semi-whiffer. The side or die says yes. So Murphy strikes out. And that ends the top of the 9th, but the Braves do pick up another run. And they go to the bottom of the 9th with a 7-1 lead. And for the Phillies, it'll be Jeltz, a pinch hitter for the pitcher. I'm sorry, it'll be Jeltz. My bad. It'll be a pinch hitter because DeColvey's batting 8th. That double switch would get me. All right, so we're going to have Greg Gross. Greg Gross is going to pinch hit for DeColvey to lead off the bottom of the 9th. Gross for DeColvey against Jim Acker. And then we'll have Jeltz, who is batting 9th, and then the Samuel hitting leadoff. Bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Phillies, although they do trail 7-1. Gross, the pinch hitter, 1-2-5. 1-2-5, is he a struggler? No. Is Gross patient? Gross is semi-patient. The side or die says he's patient, so therefore it is a walk. However, that again has the little glasses on it, and the little glasses say, go to that chart on the next page, the little glasses on a 1-2-5 says questionable or strict umpire calls ball 3, but we already know that Eric Gregg is respected, so the walk will stand. It's a leadoff walk, pinch hit walk for Greg Gross. So he pinch hits with a walk, brings up Steve Jeltz. Jeltz, so 4-4-6. 4-4-6, is the pitcher a star? No, he's not. Is he sad sack, utility, or patient? He is semi-utility, but the side or die says no. So therefore, it's a single to right field for Jeltz, and that's a 2-base advancement with the lead die of 4. So runners are at the corners with nobody out. That result was in red, so now we go to the experience chart. Louis Aguayo, the next batter. I'm sorry, it should not have been Jeltz. It should have been Aguayo. My bad. I picked up Jeltz by mistake. So let's revisit that at bat and make sure I get this correct. It is Aguayo batting off of that result on the 4-4-6. So is Aguayo sad sack, utility, or patient? He is a sad sack, but the side or die says no, so the result's still going to be the same. It's going to be a base hit for Aguayo, not Jeltz. My bad on that one. But the bottom line is runners are at the corners and nobody out for Samuel. And that's a 4-5-6. And Acker could be needing relief here shortly if he doesn't get something going. Blank for the pitcher. Is he patient? No. It's a fly out to center. Fly out to center, but with the runner on third already, that's a sacrifice fly. And the Phillies get another run on the board as Samuel gets a sac fly, scoring Greg Gross. Cuts the lead to 7-2. 1 out, and that result was in purple, so we will be going to the chemistry chart. Dissonant Atlanta against neutral Philly. And it's a 2-5 on the chemistry chart. 2-5, pitching team dissonance, yes they are. Get this out of the glare. Lack of hustle, modestly hit ball, drops in for a single. So that's a base hit. Lead die of 2 gets 1 base advancement. So Aguayo will stop at second. But runners are at first and second with 1 out. Brings up Von Hayes. Von Hayes and Gene Garber is loosening in the bullpen in case Acker runs into any more trouble. 4.66. 4.66 for Acker. 4.66. Is he wild? No, he is not wild. Is he a home run king or a slugger? Von Hayes is a slugger, so he will strike out, and that's out number 2. And the Braves are 1 out away from breaking this 4-game losing streak. And it's Mike Schmidt, last man standing in their way. Mike Schmidt, 3.44. 3.44, is it a prospect pitcher? No. Acker is neutral. Is the batter patient? Schmitty is semi-patient, but the sire die says no, so he's not patient, so he will pop it up to second, and that's the ball game. Braves win. They get their 40th win of the season, improved to 40-55 after 95 games with a convincing 7-2 victory. Player of the game, obviously Dale Murphy with his 3 home runs. And the winning pitcher in the game was Paleo, no save. Loser was Carmen. And the Braves finally break that losing streak and get a win on the board, much needed win in the first game of the series. So the vet treated them much better than Shea did. And the Braves, getting that 40th victory, now can go to a 1-game winning streak and hopefully get off that dissonant track that they were on. I got a few minutes while I'm wrapping up here. If anybody has any comments or questions or anything like that, feel free to chime in, or if you just want to talk amongst yourselves, that's free to do that as well while I'm getting everything put away. And we'll get ready for the next game in the series tomorrow. This was game 95, so out of 161, if I do my math correctly, I've got 65 games remaining, or 66 games remaining. 66 games remaining in the Braves season to get this finished. It will be pretty much a 2-year project, but I'm bound and determined now to try to get this thing finished. I'm trying to keep the games played pretty much in tune with the calendar. I am 1 day behind because the game I played was actually from July 23rd, and of course today is July 24th. But hopefully I can get a doubleheader in at some point, if not tonight, probably tomorrow, and that will get me all caught up. And at that point, I'm going to try to keep it going with the 1 a day. Let me show a little bit more of this board from Al Wilson. I didn't really get to show it in the game that much, but the secondary board you can print off has all the base running information. It's got a nice picture of the stadium, a place down here for the umpires. It's got the charts for stolen base and extra bases, attempts for bunt and hit and run, and really nice job. Nice job by Al Wilson on putting these out for the community. And of course the Veteran Stadium, everybody remembers, if you were around back then, the National League played a lot of games on turf, so brings back a lot of memories there. In fact, there's some, when you go to the ballpark boards in the game, didn't hit it this game, but there are some places on the board where, like a 1-1 says, ask if it's a grass ballpark. 4-4 ask if it's the artificial turf ballpark. So that can certainly be a factor in the game if the rolls come up as a AstroTurf park. So it's been just about an hour. I'll do the totals offline because I got to put these in the computer to get my stats. Oh, Larry, I'm sorry, the final score. I'll show the score sheet. Final score was Braves 7, Phillies 2, and Dale Murphy, in case you missed it, which it sounded like you did. Dale Murphy had 3 home runs in the game, home runs 30, 31, and 32 on the season. Gary Renicky had a home run, and also Oberkfell. So they took it to Don Carmen. And Charlie Paleo went 7 innings, 7 strong, got the win. Acker finished up for 2 innings, but the score was to a point where there were no save involved. So the Braves improved to 40-55, break their 4-game losing streak. If you're following this at all on Facebook, I will go ahead and put a recap like I've been doing. But I haven't done a video of the Braves games in a while, and I had the opportunity to do it now, particularly now that Tabletop Earl is on vacation. So that frees up this time slot for me to get a game in without having to try to compete when he's doing a video as well, because everybody likes to watch his videos, so I don't want to try to, make people decide which one to watch. I'd rather do something when other people aren't doing anything. Look for possibly Tenacious Earl to do a video tonight, probably on that channel, probably something to do with the Tenacious League. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you tune in to the Tabletop Baseball channel because they've got a lot of good stuff on their channel. I know Tabletop Earl had been doing a lot of pine tar baseball, which it looks interesting. It looks kind of, the learning curve on that looks pretty steep. I don't know, but I think I've got enough baseball games to keep me occupied for a while. In fact, I just ordered from Play.com the Century League fictional set. It's a fictional set based on like teams from the 40s and 50s. So I'm gonna have some fun with that to give me something to do as a diversion from always playing the Braves and getting, if you play the same team over and over, you can get a little bored. So to keep it fresh, I'm gonna do some things with the Century League and do that. Plus, I'll play other games too. I'll play some Strat on my own, or I'll play replay baseball or payoff pitch, something along those lines, just to break up the monotony. But right now, my main focus is to get this Brave season done, so I can see what this game engine does over a 161 game season, and then report back to you guys so that you can see what the game does. Because this game is kind of hard to judge on a 1 or 2 game basis. I do know that in some instances, particularly with depending on what season you have, this game can produce a lot of walks. But if you get control pitchers, then that doesn't happen. In fact, I had a no-hitter thrown by Ferguson Jenkins in the 1967 season that I played. So, if you get good pitching, it can rule. But if you get some pitchers that don't have the control feature, and you get batters that are patient, you can get a lot of walks. You can also get a lot of strikeouts if you got whiffers and you got guys with flash. So depends on who the players are. But there it is. Like I said, I got to finish up the totals with the hits and left on base and all that stuff. But there it is. Final score 7-2. Game 95 is in the books. And with that win, the Braves improved to 40-55. So I'll put a write-up on this on Facebook like I've been doing with the other ones. Highlighted, of course, by Dale Murphy with his 3 home runs. And I'm going to get ready to get going. I thank you all for watching and following this. And if there's anything else you care to see on these, whether it be another game engine or another team or another series or season or whatnot, just let me know and I'll see what I can do to put something out. My time to do videos can be a little limited. So right now I've just finished up. I'm still at the office at work, but I'm off the clock. I've finished my work shift and I've got an hour before my next meeting at church at 7. So that gave me a perfect time to do this playthrough here. So I just brought the stuff to work with me and went from there. So snuck it in. Game 95 in the books. I think I'll feel better once I'm in the hundreds. Once I get past 100, I'll feel like it's downhill. But Mike McCall's 69 season for a history maker. You got the 69 season. That'd be pretty cool. I've got 69 for different game engines, but not for this game. Although I did homebrew the Orioles and Mets, so I can do their World Series. But it's an enjoyable game. I think it even lends itself better to fictional sets. I wasn't a big fictional fan in the beginning, but I think I am now, having done the Baseball America 2016 set for a little bit. So I'm curious to see how the Century League is going to play. But I think just the whole thing about being your own ruler of your own baseball universe and not having people fall into certain categories, and you can be as creative as you want. I think that lends itself to that. So anyway, this is History Maker Baseball from Play.com. If you have not checked it out, it's certainly worth a look. And the game is relatively reasonably priced, and the season sets are definitely reasonably priced compared to other games out there. So certainly worth a look. If you have any other Play.com games, then you would certainly like this game as well. Yes, Larry, I'm closing in on 100. When I get to 100, I'll feel like I'm almost there. It's almost like a downhill run after that. So I'll be ready to sprint to the finish, hopefully. So hope everybody's a great Monday. And like I said, I'll put this on Facebook as a wrap-up. And then I will catch you all you guys later. And again, be sure to check in with Tenacious Earl, because he'll probably have a game tonight on the Tabletop channel. And until next time, I wish you all well, and I will see everybody down the road.